Hello students, welcome to Geography class of 8th standard. As we are doing lesson number 1, representation of geographical feature, today we will start from page number 24 to 25 of your geography book. Students, the objective of the day is to discuss the basics of topographical maps. Today we are going to give focus on reading of a topographical map. First of all, what is topographical maps? Topographic maps are graphic representations of the surface of the earth. They provide a plan, bird's eye view of the land, scales to measure ground distance, bearings to indicate directions, coordinate system to locate features, symbols for natural and cultural features, and contour lines to show the elevation slope relief of the landscape. In simple word, what is topographical map? A topographical map is a detailed and accurate illustration of man-made and natural feature on the ground such as road, railways, power transmission lines, contours, river, lakes and geographical names. Students, the Earth's surface is uneven, made up of hills, plains, plateaus, lowlands, which are varying in their elevation or heights from the sea level. The total terrain is also called physical landscape. It can be represented on the maps through different methods such as spot heights, contouring, etc. Surveying is considered a part of the science of map making. Based upon the objectives, survey map may be archaeological, geological, topographical, cadastral, military, or tourist. Since topographical maps are large scale maps, they show a great deal of details about the relief. Hence, in topographical survey, actual survey is carried out and different methods are used to represent relief on the map, such as hachioring. What is hachioring? Hachures are short lines representing directions of a slope. For steep slope, they are drawn closer together than for the gentle slopes. However, on flat ground, they cannot be used at all. Second method is hill shading. Hill shading shows the relief by light and shade. Two methods are adopted for this purpose. A light is imagined to be vertically over the area being mapped. The steep slopes are then shown by dark shading and the level ground, whether high or low, are unshaded. A light is imagined to be shining from the northwest so that southeast facing slopes are more darkly shaded than those facing north and west. Both the methods give a general idea of a relief of the country, but the disadvantages are similar to those of hachioring. That hill shading does not give an idea of actual height, and that it is difficult to know whether a piece of land is sloping uphill or downhill. Next method is spot heights. Spot heights look at the sample survey map which shows a number of dots with a number beside them denoting the height of that point above mean sea level. For example, if the height of the place is 60 meter, it is written as black dot 60. The spot heights are the actual heights above mean sea level fixed during the survey. For example, dot 332, dot 289, dot 296. Next method is benchmarks. Benchmarks are the permanent survey points shown by a stone or a building. They indicate the height of that point above sea level through accurate survey and denoted as BM 200 meter as an example. Next and last method is contours. The topographical maps are composition of visible landscape comprising both physical, relief, drainage, vegetation, and man-made settlements, triangulated heights, roads, and canals. The three-dimensional physical features are represented by means of contours and human features are shown by means of conventional signs and colors of topographical sheets. So contours are imaginary lines joining places having the same elevation above mean sea level. Students, the present topo sheet number 45D7 is an educational sheet with arbitrary grid references on the scale of 1:50,000. What is the meaning of arbitrary grids? When grids of the maps are drawn on random data, they are called arbitrary grids. What do you mean by 1:50,000? This means that if you measure 1 centimeter on the map, it actually corresponds to 50,000 centimeter on ground. Mostly this sheet covers Banskantha district of Gujarat and the northeast part of this sheet pertains to Sirohi district of Rajasthan. This map is bounded by 24 degree 15 minute to 24 degree 30 minute north latitude and 72 degree 15 minute to 72 degree 30 minute east longitude. The total coverage of the area is 15 second into 15 second, which comes to about 700 square kilometer. Let's start the reading of 45D7, which extends from Eastings 76 to 84 and Northings 90200. First point is relief. About 25% of the total area of the sheet is hilly area, which is mostly spread in northeast region of the sheet, that is in Sirohi district of Rajasthan and some parts of Banskantha of Gujarat. At the border of Sirohi district and Banskantha district, Jaso hill is extended, where there is a dense mixed jungle. The highest point in hilly region is 263 meter, whereas the lowest point is 183 meter along the right bank of Banas river in the plain area. According to contours nature, the hills are generally conical with steep slopes. The rest of the area, which is about 75%, is generally plain except a small conical hill which lie in the southwest corner near the village Bhakra and another hill extend in the direction of southwest in northeast between the village Anthroli and Chitrasani. Next point is sand dunes. As the area of this topo is under the semi-arid region, the wind is prominent agent of erosion. The sand dunes are the chief physical features in the main area in district Banskantha of Gujarat, in the northwest corner near the village Panthavara, and in the southern region below Banas river. Sand dunes are actually hills of sand, and sand features shown in brown on the topographical map formed due to wind deposition in the desert region. Next point is drainage pattern. In this region, Banas River is the main river which enters in the area of this sheet with a narrow permanent water channel from east and flows to west. Besides many seasonal tributaries, Bataram Nadi from the southeast that has perennial channel join it at the left bank and Arod Nadi, which is also a perennial, meets its right bank. Students, the term drainage basin describes an area drained collectively by the network of a river along with its tributaries and subtributaries of various dimensions. An area drained by a single river is called a catchment area. The drainage system, as seen in the topographical sheets, usually develops a pattern which is related to the general structure of its basin. Three distinct patterns can be recognized. Number one is dendritic, second is trellis, and third is radial. Number one is dendritic drainage pattern. The dendritic pattern develops in a region which is made up of rocks having uniform structure. The river and its tributaries make a pattern like the veins of a leaf. Next is trellis. The trellis drainage pattern develops in a region which is made up of alternate belts of hard and soft rocks, all of which dip in the same direction and which lie at right angles to the general slope, below which the main river flows. Third drainage pattern is radial. A radial drainage pattern develops on a dome or volcanic cone. The rivers flow outward, forming a pattern like a spokes of a wheel. After drainage pattern, next point is broken ground. What is broken ground in topography? A relief feature found mostly in dry regions around rivers and streams. It is a land around river which is totally weathered, exfoliated due to alternate cooling and heating. In simple language, broken ground area found in arid regions where the topsoil gets eroded due to flooding during rainy season. It is uncultivable land. Having studied the topo sheet, we recognized that in the absence of natural vegetation on the banks of the river, soft rocks and soil, the ground is developed as broken ground due to erosion in the rainy season. The climate and upper portion of land surface of this area provides the condition to develop and grow the broken ground along both the sides banks of the river streams. After broken ground, next point is natural vegetation. What is natural vegetation in topographical sheet? It includes forest, thickets, woodlands, grasslands, shrubs, scattered trees, riverine trees, swamp, marshes, etc. Whereas human planted vegetation includes plantations, human planted forest, etc. Normally on topo map, the exterior boundaries of areas of reserved or protected forest are shown by green ribbons. The wooded areas are colored green, scattered trees and other vegetation are in green, but prominent survey trees are in black. In this sheet, the hilly areas of Sirohi district and Banskanta district are covered mostly with open mixed jungle and fairly dense mixed jungle. But in the plains, the scrub and the thorny trees are grown. Due to broken ground on both the sides of the river banks, there is no prominent vegetation. Besides such vegetation, there are few prominent survey trees on this sheet, mostly near the banks of Banas River, and some of them are in open areas. Next point is occupation or economic activities. On the topo sheets, the cultivated areas are colored yellow. The limits of cultivation are variably depend on rainfall. As indicate, the yellow color on this sheet covers a very large area which is under farming. So the agriculture and its aligned activities like animal rearing are the main occupations in this region. In this area, some crops of both season like rabi and kharif crops can be grown. Generally, the agriculture depends on irrigation. Students, inferring occupation is based on the size of the settlement, the topography of the land, presence of any quarry or mines, and existence of communication links indicate trade. The size of the settlement, large town, indicates people engage in various occupation concerning business, agriculture, government, or public services. They may work in railways, post office, dispensaries, and police stations. The topography of the land, the plain in yellow color shows that the people are engaged in farming as yellow color indicates cultivable land. The mountainous region in green show dense forest. Here the occupation of the people may be lumbering or forestry. The areas indicating grasslands show that the occupation of the people may be cattle rearing or sheep rearing. Presence of quarries, mines, or limestone kilns shows that the people may be working in these for their living. Existence of communication links link a metal road or a road or canal under construction indicates that the people may be working at the construction site. Next, after occupation or economic activities, means of irrigation. The land under agriculture is in need of irrigation facilities. In this region, the following means of irrigation are available: well, tank, one small length of canal from Banas River is under construction in southwest areas of the sheet. After the discussion of means of irrigation, next point is settlement. The settlements can be classified in three types: nucleated or clustered, linear, and scattered or dispersed. What is nucleated or clustered settlement? These are shown in red color. Here one can see permanent huts in clusters with a post office, hospital, school, temple, and mosque. What is linear settlement? They are found on either side of a road or river. They generally develop because of communication facilities which help in developing trade. And the third one is scattered or dispersed. They are found in remote areas or far away places. Here only two or three permanent huts may be found. As far as settlement is concerned, this area, however, pertains to the rural settlement which is sparsely distributed in the entire area. The villages are small and scattered. The permanent huts are mostly found in the south region of the sheet, that is far from the left from Banas River. Generally, the villages have the cultural building like temples, chhatri, etc. A few villages like Panthavada have compact form of settlement. Last point is transport and communication. Except the following roads, all the villages of this region are connected by car track. Students, the means of transport always depend on the type of relief and drainage. For example, on very high altitudes and mountainous areas, there are only roads and no railway tracks as these are difficult to build at such heights. On the map, the roads are shown by means of symbols and car tracks, pack tracks, metal roads, unmetal roads, and footpath with a bridge. The main towns, well connected by metal roads, show economic development of the area and is the indication of trade being carried on. Hence, it shows that the town is well developed. Students, in 45D7 topo sheet, the small villages are linked with car tracks or footpaths. Hilly forested region also have footpath, but large settlements are linked with metal road. Now students, to sum up our video, there I am going to discuss some common features in 45D7 survey map. Number 1 is season. Summer, hot and dry with a maximum 47 degrees Celsius temperature, March to June. Monsoon, hot and wet with 50 to 100 centimeter rainfall annually, July to September. Winter, cool and dry with minimum 0 degrees Celsius temperature, October to February. Natural vegetation, hilly areas have dry deciduous forest having short trees, dense mixed jungle, and open mixed jungle. Plains have shrub and thorny plants where no agriculture is practiced due to excessive evaporation caused by high temperature. Irrigation, lined perennial wells, tanks, reservoirs, canals, and streams. Occupation, agriculture, rearing of cattle, sheep, camels, and horses. Crops, rabi in winter, wheat and barley, kharif in monsoon, bajra, jowar, and maize are the important crops. Settlements, most of the settlements have either nucleated or dispersed pattern. And at the last, religion. Hinduism is the main religion of the people living in most of the settlements as many temples are marked in the villages. So students, this is all about today's topic. Hope you understand well about the basics of the survey maps, topo sheet 45D7. You have to revise it and do practice. We will meet very soon with a new topic. Till then, have a nice day.